the strength to stand today. With my eyes towards the east, show me the way to Zion. I'm on my knees, laying my life on the line. I'm begging, please don't let me fall. Give me the strength. Place my feet, Lord, guide my path. Show me the way to Zion. I opened up the book and see that the apple of your eye included me. And through the tribulation, I know I must stand.
Go ahead, Chicom.
For a new heaven, a new earth, show me the way to Zion. I'm on my knees, laying my life on the line. I'm begging, please don't let me fall. Give me the strength. Place my feet, guide my path. Show me the way to Zion.
All right. I got double things going on here. I didn't know that was playing in the back. I'm so busy going into the song right now. Shalom, brothers and sisters. It seemed like forever. Seems like forever. Doesn't it? It seems like a long time since we were here. Blessings. Of course, I'm Elder Rawchaa of the Gathering of Christ Church, here with an update before preparation into our broadcast this evening. Oh, yeah, gotcha. Someone said, I got something on. Oh, thank you. We good? Thank you. All right. Yes, before I go into my broadcast, I have a few announcements I would need to make. It seems like forever since we were in an academy. You know, we were off. Elder Lawya and I and the rest of the bunch was off for a week, and it seemed like forever. Thank you for patiently awaiting our return, the return back. That's right. Real quick, I just wanted to make a quick update on the main channel. Again, brothers and sisters, please make sure that you are subscribed to this particular channel, A Gathering 144. Obviously, there's a shadow ban where they're not allowing others to see the videos, okay, through their request page. Only debauchery and nonsense is requested. Is usually shown as referrals on this particular platform. So do us a favor to make sure that that you are subscribed to this page. Hit the bell, and yes, once you hit the bell, state you would like to receive all notifications, because there's a lot going on, and a lot will be going on within the next 3 months, okay, this winter. And I thank the Most High that we will be together, if it be the Most High's will, privately and publicly through online broadcasting with our numerous broadcast platforms, okay? We have Patreon, A Gathering 144, well, Patreon /A Gathering 144, and I have a great update this coming Friday for you all, right? And I'm going to touch on a few of those in a moment. Also, as a guest, you'll be finding us on GOCC NYC. GOCC NYC. Okay, so let me give you that real quick. 1 second. Let me give you that real quick. GOCC NYC. Okay, let me give that to you real quick. Okay. GOCC NYC. The link for that broadcast, for that blog tonight. Okay. That's the link for the blog tonight if you wish to be a part of the broadcast tonight, which starts in about, 2.5 hours. Around 3 o'clock we'll start it. 6 o'clock we'll start it. So again, that's right. Let me put it here. Our blog tonight will be as a guest on GOCC NYC. I hope you all are there. I hope you're there, and I'm going to go over what our discussions will be, okay, on GOCC NYC. All right. Now, before I do that, let me announce that, yes, we are beginning a brand new Hebrew and Bible Academy starting, you got it, this coming Sunday. This coming Sunday, we will begin a new installment of our Hebrew and Bible Academy, okay? First week, we'll be going into the creation of the universe, showing the actions of the powers whom the Most High God gave the command to create all in existence. Okay? The powers before the earth. We're going to go into that. The angels who were ordered. Now, there's different titles depending on your ideology or what society you are under outside of Israel. There's many titles for angels. One of the titles of angels is powers or gods. Powers or gods. Okay? So the Bible simplifies it by what? Giving identity or giving a name to the powers that exist outside of our realm. So they're easily identified. I know what an angel is according to the Bible's understanding of it. Good and bad. Okay? So that's why we like to keep things in the context of the Bible. And hence we're going into the creation of the universe so you can get that same understanding. Because usually those who grew up in the church, who believe in the Bible, are at a disadvantage in understanding what's really happening outside of the visible, outside of what we all can see. And that leaves us at a disadvantage. Okay? Why? Because the witches, warlocks, sorcerers, and the evildoers of this earth understand the operations of the invisible, good and bad. Christians, or those who believe in the Bible, which is told, just believe in Jesus, have him forgive our sins, and just put everything on Jesus, and that's good enough, with no context, no details on how to access that power Christ had on the earth. Well, in order to do so, you must understand what's out there. Okay? So I'm going to be going into that in serious context in our Hebrew and Bible Academy, brothers and sisters. With the creation of the universe, we're going to be going into, the Bible says these are angels. This is what the Gentile nations call those angels. And you're going to find that the technology that was given to these Gentile nations who are controlling our people are fallen gods. And I'm going to go into that. Anyone who will tell you that that doesn't exist, that there was no fall, and that there's no principalities and the powers working on the outside that control this and giving all these people technology and all that for a price, hey, they're just out of the loop. If you would like to simplify it and just to believe it's between black and white people, that's on you. But there's greater knowledge that we're going to delve into in our Hebrew and Bible Academy, first starting with the creation of the universe. And second, tracing the serpent's seed. So the first week we go into how all things were created and by who. Okay. The second week we go into the narrative that led to the world we have today. Earth. The fallen angels, proving that they have a seed on the earth against the righteous seed, who are our people, the children of Israel in exile. We're under attack. And the disadvantage is not realizing who's attacking us. Okay? So I'll be going into that second week of our Hebrew and Bible Academy. You don't want to miss this. Another thing I'm going to be delving into and finding the lost tribes of Israel. We're going to go into that even more in depth. When the 12 tribes of Israel came into a new land where never mankind dwelt, like is written of in scriptures, when the North American Indians and others, the indigenous people of North, Central, and South America, when our foreparents came into the Americas before the so-called white man, okay, before he got here, well, folks, the North American Indians weren't alone. When it says to go into a land where no mankind dwelt, but there were beings here in the United States who understood who the lost tribes of Israel were. They were here on this side. Okay? And what you're going to find out, and I'm going to go further into detail in the academy on this, is that the modern world built a construct on the outside of the controller's world. The layers and the mountains and all that where the so-called beings lived and were here in America. They're still controlling things from those same locales. So when you think about America, the city, the Statue of Liberty, Philadelphia, and all these other constructs that was put in major cities, what we don't understand is the society this was built out of. Okay? There was a society on the fringes of these cities that still exists. Hey, I'm going to be going into this, tracing the serpent seed. And guess right, I'm going to be talking about it, folks, because that's the only way we can make sense of what's really going on. We can make sense of it because why? These powers that control what we see requires old rituals and sacrifices to continue in their positions, including the blood of man. So they set up a construct that would allow them to do what? To be able to cultivate, groom, and to get the people out of the society they needed to continue their ritualistic ceremonies. Okay? Understand this. So what happens when a moral code and a standard is placed here now, and we're saying, well, listen, we don't agree with immorality, that lowers the pool of people they can actually draw from for their ceremonies. See? Blood sacrifice, all these things was the way before these constructs were built. And our ignorance allowed them to cause dysfunctions that would lure people that we are having for them, lure people out of their protections called family to be sacrificed under old ritual sacrifices. And folks, this didn't just start right now. This didn't just start in our modern time. They have dumbed down society so that children wouldn't be protected, because they must cultivate the next society, the next generation of children. That's right, for their ritualistic needs. I'm going to be going into that. Here's a book that I'm going to be covering. The Encyclopedia of Ancient Giants in North America. See? There it is. You want to know what they're turning people into? The Encyclopedia of Ancient Giants in North America. The archaeology that was hidden by the leaders of this world. And I'm talking about archaeology that cannot be refuted, brothers and sisters. Where they found burial grounds, ritual grounds, like Stonehenge and all that in the United States. These places still exist with sacrifices and all that to these. That's right, folks. We're going to be going into that. When the North American Indians came here, folks, there were wars in the earth before the white man came here so that they can stake territory here. There were wars. They lost some wars, they won some wars. And the wars they lost, they turned the people into ritual priests and priestesses that will be utilized, that's right, in their pyramid temples of sacrifice, like the Incans, Mayans, the Aztecs. So hence the reason why they have divided the earth. They continue to push division, to separate families, because people are waking up according to the Most High. And now they don't have access like they used to the population of people they need for sacrificing blood. So hence, they've shaped a narrative that would turn society against one another. Gays against straights, blacks against whites, liberals against conservatives, so that there's no one to trust. That's right, when the real war began. So there's no one to trust, and you're left alone as a sitting duck to be sacrificed. I'll be going into that and more in our Hebrew and Bible Academy, folks. So what I would need you all to do, don't worry about it. I know you're asking me. This is how you enroll. You go to historytimes.org. You go to historytimes.org and enroll. It's very cheap, but I guarantee you, you'll get more information in one lesson, folks. In one lesson that you have done, you get more information in one lesson than you've received all of your life. It doesn't matter your school. It doesn't matter your church or your mosque. I'll guarantee you, once the Gathering of Christ Church, the elders, when we come together and connect these dots for you, you'll see the Bible in this world as it should have been seen. In clear view concerning righteousness and who is the enemy according to God. The creation of the universe. Make sure you're there. A lot of other information I'm going to go into. Second week, I'm going to also cover, brothers and sisters. I'm going to also cover the truth about pigs or swine. Okay? I have some current white papers that I've gone into to go into these pigs, why they were created, why they were made by certain beings. I'm going to talk about that. Why out of all the unclean foods written of in the Torah, in Leviticus, out of all the unclean animals or birds that the crustaceans the Most High said don't eat, it was one animal in particular that he stated, not only was it unclean, that it's an abomination. It's not just unclean. It's an abomination. And folks, you're going to find out the pig, hey, the pig is a deep, deep, deep spiritual animal on the dark side. On the dark side. Why the Most High called it an abomination? It's because what it turns us into, what it does to our bodies. And on top of that, the blood of a pig is an abomination. It taints the blood of mankind. It poisons us. From the time we eat it, it begins to poison us. And you notice that the Bible says, as in the days of Noah, then shall the coming of the Son of Man be. When they started cross-splicing, you notice that science now are acting as if it's okay to transplant pigs and all that into people. Right? They're claiming that a person is more closely in biology to a pig, so they use pig organs. It's way deeper than that, folks. And there's who knows? But maybe they're priming the Bible, the bodies we have right now chemically, to accept the abomination, because we're merging into exactly that. That's all I can say here right now, okay? But there's a reason why pigs have always been promoted as a cheap meat, and why the Bible says, even though there's unclean things the Most High says that we should not touch, out of all unclean meats in the earth, he pointed to that one as an abomination. Not that he would have us eat anything unclean, but he highlighted that. And when you see the ritualistic sacrifice and who was behind that pig, it's going to give us an entirely different perspective of why the Most High singled that particular animal out. Week 2 of the Hebrew Bible Academy. I got all my books there. I got my stuff ready. You don't want to miss that. Now, like I said, it's only $150 for 3 months. That's it. Pay $75 the first month, $75 the second month, and that's it. You're in for the full 3 months. 12 weeks of serious information. Now, eventually, a lot of the information I teach in the academy, eventually it comes out anyway, through our teachings and all that. But this is a compact study when it comes to particular information that takes what? Resources, sources, in a class type setting. And that's why it's important to do things through the Hebrew and Bible Academy, to get it so that you can have the empirical truth and sources to back up everything learned. Let me give you that real quick. historytimes.org. Let me get that. Hence the reason why, folks, they try to put swine in as many things as they can without telling you. And I'm going to be dealing with that. But that's one of many things, okay? historytimes.org. Make sure you enroll. Another thing I like about the Hebrew and Bible Academy, in particular with Elder Lawya, dealing with the Hebrew 101. And folks, wait till you see what we're going into tonight on the guest channel, GOCC NYC. I seen a rabbi, and due to a lot of restrictions with certain people and groups being protected politically, I couldn't show the video here, but I'll probably show it this Sunday. Everything is censored. Only a certain people on this platform can tell you what's up without being canceled. But anyway, the rabbi was talking about the fact that the most people don't understand in the Hebrew what zombie means. That they understood a long time what a zombie is and what the world in whole would need to be protected from. When you have the majority of the population with a very, very low IQ, eventually the world implodes in of itself, and those who have common sense will learn to protect themselves from zombies. Okay? And it was really that in a nutshell, but I'm going into the Hebrew tonight on zombie, and we're going to talk about that. Okay? We're going to talk about and ask, have they turned some of you into zombies? And if so, what's the cure? If so, what's the cure? Now, of course, in order to overcome being zombified, I know if that's not a word, but who cares? One must first start with a moral standard and code that they'll stand on. Which does what? It develops character as well as conscience. If you have a person who waffles all over the place without any standard, they're susceptible. They're open. That's right. They're open to be zombified. Okay, so I'm going to talk about that. And the chemical inducing of things, I'm going to talk about that also. All right, the last but not least I wanted to talk about is some of the things we'll be covering between tonight on GOCC NYC GOCC NYC, as well as Patreon this coming Friday. Now, the broadcast tonight on GOCC NYC, and thank you, Elder Rawchaa, for allowing us to be guests there. The title tonight is Truth Will Guide Us Through the Winter. Truth will guide us through the winter. You keep hearing from the Biden administration, from his leaders, because I don't know whether or not he's saying any of this stuff, that there will be a very dark winter. And what I'm stating here is that truth will guide us through the winter. No, that's not tonight. Hold on. Tonight is, have they turned you into a zombie? Excuse me. Let me get that here. 1 second here. Have they turned you into a zombie is tonight. What I wanted to talk about today, leading into what we'll be discussing tonight. Okay? Truth will guide us through the winter is what I wanted to talk about today. Truth. They said it will be a dark winter. Okay? So what I'm hoping through all of these platforms, including this one, okay, that through the Spirit of the Most High, the Word, first and foremost, through prayer, through staying on code with the Most High, which is His laws, that no one out there become frantic or panic this winter. Do not become frantic and do not panic. Truth will guide us through the winter. So, this is why a lot of these platforms we have with the Gathering of Christ Church can keep one grounded. Especially with all these different voices through the midst of the cloud of confusion, you need a place in which you can get levity and grounded and what? Sound information according to the word, not to panic. And that's what we'll provide between this platform, GOCC NYC, and Patreon, where, thank you for being loyal Patreon members, brothers and sisters. We're able to discuss some of the things there that we cannot hear. Okay? So one thing I like about the Hebrew Bible Academy, getting back there, is that every Sunday, Elder Rawchaa comes on with the news to tell us real time what's going on. What's going on. Okay? So make sure that not only are you here, but in that academy, that you get your pen and pad. And what we do also, brothers and sisters, y'all might not know this, for you first timers, there's links that are put in the chat that you can actually reference as mainstream media of what they're really saying. And these are the things you can't find on CNN or any other news network that's actually looking to just what? Progress agendas. So we do give you the link so that if your family asks you, where do you hear that from? Don't forget, our families are getting inundated by what? Propagandized news. So they don't have anything to balance the agendas with. Not to say everything on the news is incorrect, but everything, no matter what, takes balance. And we're getting too much of one side of a narrative. Well, what the Academy does, it allows us to go into news that you could seldom hear within the United States concerning the same topics that are discussed. What should I do in this instance? What should I do at work? They're pressuring me here. We're pressuring me there. Will I lose my job? If I lose my job, what to do? What did the Most High say concerning this or that? And what we do is we give you levity and say, well, okay, they're talking about that there, but over in Netherlands or over in Cyprus or over in different places, this is how these other countries have overcome these obstacles. But they'll never tell you in the country that they're trying to propagandize. Okay, so that's the good thing about the Academy, is because you get the links, mainstream national news, international news, that can give you a perspective outside of what? Them funneling people into a singular decision. Okay, that's the most I can say on that. So what will I be covering between today and Friday, leading up to the Academy? Okay, this is what I'm going to be covering. There's a nurse who worked in New York City, and she stated a few things concerning what was going on in New York at a time when no one understood how to deal with the current state of things. Okay, when it was fresh, she came out and said, well, this is something that's going on. This happened in 2020. And she says, you wouldn't believe what's going on in some of these places. And she started to talk about a few things. And I'm going to revisit that on Patreon, because what she stated went over a lot of people's head at that time. But now we had some time to take in, this whole plague thing. So I think it's time we need to revisit and see some and hear some of the things we probably missed from nurses. At a time when nurses were celebrated as heroes, what's going on with them now? Well, we're going to hear what she has to say on Patreon this coming Friday. Also, the turning of things upside down, how the courts have now allowed Satanists to take the president in the narrative within the United States. That people with morality, who will protect family, who would protect children, who believe in the Bible, they purposely set a standard within the United States where believers are silenced through censorship. And the only people who can do what they would like to do without any fear of being taken down are Satanists. Satanists can say what they want. They can curse anyone out. They can, but because they're dealing in the spirit of straight sinful cowardness, they do it through proxy. They'll join groups. They'll create groups, but it's just to cause confusion. They'll find, that's right, low IQ people and set up organizations with them to attack others in society. That's right. Satanists are not censored. I'm going to be talking about that tonight. Also tonight, we're going to touch on Joe Rogan's quotes with Gupta. Okay? Gupta, a doctor that's heralded and celebrated through CNN. Of course, I'm not going to be able to play the video, but I'll be able to play the audio through fair use. And let's hear some of the things tonight that they're not stating publicly within our communities. Also tonight, we're going to be discussing the Amish community. Why aren't the Amish today panicking like you are, like the world is panicking? Why aren't they being pressured into doing anything? A lot of you don't know. The Amish it's a religious institution. Religious who believe in Christ. They believe in natural. They don't believe in all the technology under the circumstances in which they live. But yet they're not, it's thousands upon thousands of them who aren't getting pressured under the current. That's right, pressures. Let me put it that way. Why? Why? Well, we're going to let the Amish tell you tonight why governments cannot pressure someone religiously or otherwise. There's a word called natural immunity that you will rarely hear on news programs. And we're going to talk about that tonight. Also, we're going to talk about the union calls for suspension of certain things that are being utilized. And we're going to be talking about all of these things and more. And more. In less than 2 hours. And more in less than 2 hours. So it's wonderful. It feels good to be back before you, brothers and sisters. Thank you. I know you've been patient, waiting for some content, waiting for our word, or just to be encouraged through what's going on. But I'm going to tell you, folks, truth will guide us, you, through the winter. One of the saving graces that we've all been able to have throughout all of these trying times is the fact that we can all come here and get some what? Sound levity and balance and strength. And strength, knowing that at the end of the day, our God has this. Keep in mind, every plague we're dealing with today, what we're seeing today with these spirits operating, it tells us in the book of Revelation is because the Most High loosed the spirits that were in the rivers Euphrates, right? He loosed the spirits and things began to happen. These spirits, that's right, get with your scientists and all these others who are really priests to actually give them technology and understanding on how to attack the population without you understanding. So it was our God who loosed these spirits that are doing what they're doing. Now, if our God loosed them, then guess what? That shows us the power of our God who did what? Bounded them. See? So as long as we're on the right side with him, we have to allow what's going to transpire. Why? Because all of this is an amendment and a judgment on earth, because people all over the earth have turned their backs on the Most High. So he loosed them and have hedged those who love him and keep his commandments. So when it tell you that, I looked at that word loose and it was deep because it shows you who has the power in all of this. The beings that control the powers in societies today have no power outside of what? What's given to them. What's allowed. So if he loosed them, he had the power to bind them. And there's only one name that can bind all spirits. One name that can bind all spirits. So they can be loosed, but through Christ, they're bound. So what I'm saying, folks, is it was our Christ, our Messiah, who allowed the book to be open and who can read the books and release the spirits that were bound in Hades. It was our God, our Christ. So we have the power of binding. So again, do not panic. Panicking is for the unfaithful, those who never believed, who always just believed in themselves, who never sought the Most High, who never gave glory to him, who never thanked him. So the Most High just let it loose. He let it loose. So again, you are not to panic. And you are not to fall victim to those who would put their panic spirit on you. Misery loves company. And the only way some of these people are going to get themselves together if they start panicking and trying to get you on board with their panicking, for you to say, listen, you're in this by yourself. Okay? I'm down with the Most High. And I don't like being out there vulnerable, feeling this way. So when people start trying to put their worry on you, folks, that's a demon. You have to be like, nah, not on me, you don't. I was feeling good until I spoke to you. No, thank you. It's going to be the worry people that's going to cause many and has caused many to die. Oh, you dealing with this? Oh, I don't care what anybody say. You need to go right now. And they would panic you. And the next thing you know, you're dead as a doornail. And the same person who just panicked you, just going back with their life. Oh, yeah, they must have been taken by the cold. As if you didn't have no hand in triggering and panicking a person into their own grave. Folks, we're in a time of the stupor, and the panic people are going to be the first to, not only that, they'll be the first to trigger you to fall on the sword while still living, only to be utilized to get someone else killed. Okay? The Most High didn't give us the spirit of fear. Don't let no one panic you. Oh, yeah, I read on the news. I just read it. Yeah, somebody, and then they're panicking you because why? These are people without faith. And the powers that be are banking on the low IQ and who? The fearful. They're banking on these two elements to stir people, to get them into their institutions, to put these people down. And that's all I can say. So we're going to be covering a lot tonight, and I hope you'll all join us. Again, I mean, it feels so good to be back here before you. I mean, I took a break, a very needed break, but I'm right back on it. We're right back on it, folks, starting tonight. We're going to segue from here. We're going straight into, that's right, we're going straight into, have they turned you into zombies? All right, another call. Let me get rid of this real quick. Can't do that. Sorry. Broadcasting. 1 second. Okay, I got to call Shapad up. So yes, I got to get prepared. It's great being back before you. I'll see you all in a couple of hours as a guest on GOCC NYC. Okay? Truth will get us through the winter, and those in the academy understands the importance of it, okay, who have been in our academy. Okay? Who knows what's going to go down between now and the next 3 months, but guess what? Those in the know will understand what to do. Okay? Be it on this platform or the academy, as long as the Most High give us guidance or understanding, you'll receive it. Okay? That's the link for the broadcast tonight. Okay, if you're interested in our broadcast tonight, have they turned you into zombies? Be there at 6 o'clock. Okay? Now, historytimes.org. And brothers and sisters, if you intend on being in the academy, help us out. Okay? Enroll before the last moment. You're keeping us up where our administration can't even sleep. Because at the last moment between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, there's a whole bunch of people coming in the last minute up until the time we broadcast, 9 a.m. Sunday. Help us out, okay? We're able to distribute the work better if you're going to enroll immediately and get processed so that your welcome package and everything comes in the mail. So you're not keeping us up all night and really trying to call us when I'm about to broadcast. You don't know how many times I'm sitting there 5 minutes before the broadcast still trying to navigate stuff. Help us out. If you're going to be in the academy, if you're going to be there, let's not do this last minute stuff and just do it as early as possible, okay? Because you're going to be there anyway, right? I'm talking about those who are intending on enrolling. You're going to be there anyway, so help us out and do it early. Okay. All right. What else? What else? Is there anything else? Yeah, one other thing. historytimes.org. You can enroll there. Let's see. Patreon.com/A Gathering 144. That's the link you will go to if you want to become a Patreon member. This way we have a lot of links, a lot of debates with the rabbis, and a lot of things that the videos we had to take down from here. Well, they're over in Patreon, okay? So you'll be able to get those videos, the old debates, the old Peace FMs, all the other things as a Patreon member. And when I do updates that cannot be stated here on this platform for whatever reason, you can get that over there, okay? Outside of the freedom of speech allowed on our Hebrew Bible Academy. All right. But outside of that, you can become a Patreon member, A Gathering 144. And this way you're in the know at least 2 to 3 times a week. So if there's something that happens in an emergency in between the week, there's an opportunity to come on Sabbath or whatever the case is. As long as you're in one of these things, be it our blog, Academy, Sabbath service, Patreon, as long as you're in one of those things, one of those broadcasts, you're in the know, okay? You're in the know. All right? Thank you, NASA. Thank you. Last but not least, let's see. Thank you, Myrick, for enrolling. Don't worry about it. You will receive your welcome information. Be sure if you have enrolled, because what happens when mail goes out in bulk, sometimes it defaults to your spam, junk mail, or whatever. So make sure, don't panic. Make sure you check all your folders. Just because it's not in your inbox doesn't mean it hasn't been sent to you. So do us a favor and make sure that you check your junk and spam before, listen to me clearly, before you reach out and say, I haven't received my welcome information yet. Okay? We have people working around the clock, and don't worry about it. If you enrolled, you will receive a response well before Saturday night, or at the least by 7 to 8 a.m. Sunday morning. Don't panic. Make sure you check your spam, your junk, everything you got there, so that we don't have repeat emails we have to go through with something that could have been fixed on your side. Okay. Oh yeah, this Sunday is going to be it's going to be deep. All right. It's going to be deep. All right. Someone says, I'm in my first time, Elder Rawchaa. Blessed love. Yehuda Israel. Yehuda Israel. You know what? You're going to have to be patient with us, brother. Because a lot of things in the academy, when someone is coming from different ideologies and doctrines, usually it's, well, I never heard this before, I don't know. Be patient with us, because the truth we're teaching and what we're showing forth can sometimes conflict with the ideology we've learned. Okay, so you're going to hear, Yehuda, you're going to hear a few things that's contrary to your upbringing, even in the Torah. Like, for instance, Yah. I hear a lot of brothers and sisters saying Yah. Okay, Y-A-H, right? Now, of course, they're thinking about God or giving their reverence to the Creator. In earnest, in good faith, I understand that. But that's not the name of the Most High. Yah only mean God. It's no different than you saying God while reading the Bible in English. No different. But the problem with that is because Yah doesn't denote what God. Satan is a Yah also. There's good Yahs and there's bad Yahs. And okay, so I'm going into that, even though I know you're talking about the Creator. He didn't tell Moses his name was Yah. See? And Yah also goes back to ancient Egypt as the moon god that was being served by the Egyptians at a time Moses and the Israelites were living in Egypt. So if anyone would have known the word Yah, that's right. Moses would not have asked the Most High his name if he already understood his name as Yah, one of the many gods worshipped in Egypt. So I'm putting that out there because just like that and other information, it's going to shock you. It's going to be like, oh, it's against my upbringing, but we're going to tell you the truth. All right. We're not going to say that the Most High's name is Yah because you can find Yah in the name of the prophets or Yah in the name of the angels. You can find Yah. This is not how the Most High said identify him. Okay. Yah only means God without denoting a good or a bad one. So while I don't disrespect people, or this is why when people come on our channel and sometimes Elder Rawchaa, sometimes he yanks them early, and I'm going to tell them we can't block everyone, allow them to talk or whatever, because some people just don't know. All right. But when they start bringing forth another name outside of the name that the Most High gave Moses, your rock tends to do what? Time them out, block them, or whatever the case is. I don't want too many people blocked. Listen, sometimes there is a contrast. Sometimes there is conflicting information or what you would call a conflicting perspective. And it doesn't mean these people are against the church. It more so believes it's more so a thing where they haven't learned yet. And this is why it doesn't matter what group you are a part of, whether or not you thought his name was Yah, Yahweh, like I once did, Yahuwah, Yehoshua, like they're teaching under the Jewish synagogues. It doesn't matter what you believe, what you believed in the past. What I just hope is that you come in the academy with an open mind to learn outside of the programming. Okay? So with that, I'm going to say shalom. I'll see you tonight at GOCC NYC in a few hours. Also, I'll see you on Patreon, our loyal Patreon members, this Friday at noon. And brothers and sisters, we have a Sabbath lesson and, of course, the first week of the Hebrew and Bible Academy. Folks, it's people like this who are your real leaders. You want to see your real leaders? And not the people they're putting up ceremonial in front of you. Your real leaders, well, the leaders of this world are like this. Okay? So we're going to be covering this and more things in the Hebrew Bible Academy, historytimes.org. See you at 6 o'clock GOCC NYC with our lesson, asking a question, who knows? Have they turned you into zombies? I don't know. Let's find out. Shalom.
To Zion, I was lost,
6 p.m.
but now I'm found. I'm a child of Israel.